The United States and Mexico have reached tentative agreement on a trade deal that could replace NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. It says at least 75% of the content of autos sold in the trade bloc must be made in North America. 40% must be made by workers earning at least $16 an hour. President Trump called Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto today to congratulate him and talk up the new deal with a new name.
They used to call it NAFTA. We're going to call it the United States-Mexico Trade Agreement. We'll get rid of the name NAFTA. It has a bad connotation because the United States was hurt very badly by NAFTA for many years, and now it's a really good deal for both countries.
Now the administration has to negotiate with Canada. Mr. Trump pledged to negotiate fairly if Canada does too. The Canadian Foreign Ministry said it's encouraged by the progress so far. Tributes flowed in the United States Senate today for John McCain. The Arizona Republican died Saturday after a year-long battle with brain cancer. The Senate reconvened with colleagues offering praise, starting with Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Minority Leader Senator Chuck Schumer.
He was unafraid to take on presidents. He was unafraid to take on his own party. He was equally parts funny and furious, foul-mouthed and statesmanlike. He could put the temper in temperament. He was a brave and honest man. He was a patriot.
He would fight like mad to bring the country closer to his vision of the common good. But when the day's disputes were over, that very same man was one of our most powerful reminders that so much more unites us than divides us.
Senator McCain will lie in state at the old Arizona Capitol building on Wednesday, which would have been his 82nd birthday. There'll be a memorial service in Phoenix on Thursday. He'll then lie in state at the U.S. Capitol on Friday. A funeral service is set for Saturday at the Washington National Cathedral, and a private burial will take place Sunday at his alma mater, the U.S. Naval Academy at Annapolis, Maryland. President Trump raised eyebrows over his response to the death of Senator McCain. The two men had been at odds for a long time. This morning, the American flag over the White House returned to full staff after just one day, while those at the Washington Monument and elsewhere remained at half staff. After widespread criticism, the White House flags were lowered back to half staff this afternoon. In a statement, Mr. Trump said that despite their differences, he respected McCain's service. He said the flags will remain at half staff until the burial. Iran has formally asked the International Court of Justice to suspend U.S. economic sanctions that were reimposed after President Trump pulled out of the 2015 Iran nuclear deal. At a hearing today, Iran argued the sanctions violate a 1955 treaty that regulates the country's economic ties. The U.S. says the World Court has no jurisdiction over the dispute. Back in this country, investigators in Jacksonville, Florida are searching for a motive after a gunman killed 2 people and then himself at a video game tournament on Sunday. 10 others were wounded. Police say the suspected shooter, David Katz of Baltimore, was a competitor at the games. The event was underway at a shopping mall when the shooting started. Police said today that Katz went after other players with a handgun.
The suspect clearly targeted other gamers who were in the back room of Chicago Pizza participating in this gaming tournament. The suspect walked past patrons who were in other parts of the business and focused his attention on the gamers.
Katz was 24. The Associated Press reports that court records show he'd been hospitalized twice for mental illness as a teenager. A federal judge in Seattle today blocked the Trump administration from letting a Texas company post online its plans for printing plastic guns. 19 states and the District of Columbia had sued to block the blueprints for untraceable weapons. The judge's restraining order will remain in place until the case is resolved. And Wall Street got a boost from the tentative trade deal between the United States and Mexico. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained 259 points. That's a 1% gain to close at 26,049. The NASDAQ rose 72 points, and the S&P 500 added 22. Still to come on the NewsHour, Pope Francis under fire amid a claim that he knew about sex abuse allegations against a prominent cardinal. A call to prosecute war crimes against the Rohingya. Remembering an American hero, Senator John McCain, and much more.